Bandai group build. That does sound like fun. Build me well. Well, I got a Bandai Yoda. I actually have two Bandai Yodas. You get a 1/6 scale Yoda and a 1/12 scale Yoda. Two different kinds of short. Should be fun though. So inside the box, you get a couple of different creepy looking Yoda faces. You have a plastic hair option, and I guess you could paint your hair too. There's two different style heads. And strange feet and hands. Looks like you have a variety of ways of posing the hands. You can either have open hands or hands gripping lightsabers. I guess that's the 12th scale head there. It's his robe in squishy, flexible plastic. It's kind of like calamari. I wonder if it tastes like calamari. Lots of parts for articulating the joints. So I guess you can change his poses around. It comes with a base, but it's just plain black plastic. Not very swamp-like. Maybe I'll make a base so he can have some mud squish between his little green toes. Anyway, I'm in. This should be fun. We'll see how it goes. Well, here's an update on my progress in the Bandai group build. My son and I finished up the 1/6 scale Yoda on the dining room table after dinner one evening. And he goes together really nicely. The 1/6 scale Yoda has a lot of options. You have a choice of two different heads. They have the same grumpy facial expression now. You can build the eyes two different ways. You can build him staring straight ahead or looking off to one side. The eyes are made up of this piece to represent the whites of the eyes, and transparent green that goes in from behind to represent the pupils. And it looks kind of hokey on the parts tree, but once you get it together, it's really very convincing. There's no paint on there anywhere. That is just the parts as they were molded. For the head, you have the option of bald or molded on hair. You get a couple of different options for hands. You can have him gripping something like a lightsaber or using the Force. You can either have the lightsaber or the walking stick. Although this is technically a snap-together kit and the subject matter appeals to kids, it's really a fairly complex build. He is fully articulated. Whoops. All the joints can move. He has a special foot ejection feature. So all the extra parts in here to make all the joints articulate, they're very precise and a little bit fiddly, and to get it all together kind of requires a combination of manual dexterity and physical strength that probably a lot of kids can't manage both at the same time. And these pieces for his robe, they have a fine fabric texture on it. And to preserve the texture, the sprue gates are actually enter the part on the mating surface. So you do have to do a little bit of knife work to get those seams to close up. So it's a good thing to build with a kid. If you set a kid to build this on his own, there might be some frustration in throwing things. So keep that in mind. The 1/6 scale Yoda has no options. Basically, this is what you see is what you get. I kind of like him better. He's got a more philosophical expression on his face, not so grumpy. No articulation on this. There are some seams in the robe that need to be filled up. I really only have one complaint about this little 12 scale guy. He's wearing something around his neck that seems to be suspended on a string. And on the front of the figure, it looks like a string, and then on the back, it looks like the collar, and there's really no transition between the two to depict the string going under the collar or the collar going over the string. So I did a little bit of carving right there, trying to make it look a little more presentable, but otherwise very nicely molded. Very nice detail on the face. I think I'll paint this one. It should be fun. I regret that I can't show you the instructions anymore. Sam and I left it on the dining room table and Mom recycled it. That's what we get for leaving our stuff lying around, I suppose. Well, Sam and I really enjoy putting these things together, and I do recommend them. They are a lot of fun, but keep in mind, this one that works like an action figure is not the easiest thing for a kid to get together. So be prepared to help. That's it for now. Have fun out there.